The way he had been talking to me told me something's up. The way he had been acting lately said, child, walk away. The way he'd call and he'd fight, I could feel it in my gut. You said you had a dream, but this is a nightmare. It came to me at a time where I was not comfortable with love songs and heartbreak songs being my brand. I did not want that to be what I was known for. And also, I was coming out of Love Glory, which was a duo known for love songs, right? And so, from a place of defiance, I suppose, but also, I think, an awakening in the way I was writing and the things I was writing about, because there was a season where I became a bit more political, if you will. And so the idea of just putting out yet another heartbreak song didn't appeal to me. So what I found myself doing is writing a song about gender-based violence. And in writing that song, I realized I think it's also in a time where GBV was like on a scary rise in our country in terms of statistics. And I wanted very loudly to be a voice that addresses issues. So yeah, it made sense to me that the heartbreak wouldn't just be another boy broke my heart, but that the levels of heartbreak I wanted to get into were deeper than that, and gender-based violence seemed like an appropriate topic at the time. But then I realized I would sound like an angry black woman. I was gonna sound like just another angry black woman bashing and hating. And I think it's at the time also when the hashtag men are trash was a real thing, but that's not what I was doing. I was addressing something that was affecting our society, affecting our country. And so the idea came to me to feature a poet. And at the time, Makhafula, Vilakazi and I had known each other for a few years and had toyed around with this idea of, a collaboration. And I thought to myself, perfect, right? Perfect. Makhafula's voice is the voice of the South African man. And sharp, I'm generalizing, but definitely a relatable, loud and honest and authentic South African voice, right? And so featuring him, I remember calling him and saying, hey man, there's this song. I sent him the song and I said to him, I need you to be the voice of a man in this woman's life. Whether you take on the voice of her son or the voice of her father or the voice of her abusive husband or boyfriend, I need you to choose a voice. Choose a man's voice in this woman's life. And I think I gave him the options and the freedom to choose because of how daunting it is, right? Or I imagined it would be daunting for him to take on the voice of the abuser. But of course, because he is a man of, chutzpah, he took on that voice. And what he did,
Broken, this is me. Taught that breaking you is building me, that blaming you is to keep you, losing and gaining my temper to confuse you, judging to control you, cleansing my misogyny with your tears, and playing victim when I see you rising.
I cried in studio, watching him reciting this poem that he had written about this particular situation. And honestly, when I feature someone on a song and they come guns blazing, I don't think I've ever featured anyone on a song and they didn't come guns blazing, But this particular feature, man. So then I released it on Valentine's Day because it's Katela roses, right? And the roses are actually that red of the roses in my mind in this moment looks like bloody flowers, you know. And so I guess in my moment of I thought it most appropriate to drop that song on the so-called Day of Love. And I won't lie, I think it's also quite the gem in my catalog.
Umfazi uyabethwa phola xola, umfazi uyondla, umfazi uyopha, umfazi ulithemba uluthanda uluxola, umfazi ungamandla, umfazi ungamandla, 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 ungamandla.